All right, let's break this down. Our third injury report of the week, obviously Friday will dictate how everything, comes together and how everything finishes. But this is, of course, a very important injury report because of the fact that Jamar Chase, he claims he is going to be playing in this upcoming game. He said in his head he is playing. He did practice in limited fashion on Thursday, which is good after missing Wednesday's practice. But based on what we understand, he most likely will play this game versus the Texans, which is great. Because T. Higgins is not. T. Higgins, according to Ian Rappaport, is not going to be shooting up for this upcoming game. He did pull his hamstring on Wednesday, which he was called the limited participant in practice, and did not practice yesterday. So it looks like he is not going to be playing at all in this upcoming game. We don't know how long he's going to be out for. Right now, they're considering him week-to-week basics. But again, that's, open to interpretation, I feel like, across the board, because there's really no telling how long, his hamstring will take him to recover. At the end of the day, hamstring injuries are one of those injuries which I, categorize in the non-contact injury, right? So you never know what's going to happen. At the end of the day, you can pull your hamstring and be, okay, I'm fine, everything's okay. Or you could have severity of it, and you could obviously not be fine and be hurt for the whole entire year. We've seen people pull their hamstring and never come back to football. We've seen people pull their hamstring and be out for the year, right? It's everyone's body's different. So, problem with hamstring injuries is they never really go away, though. That's my only issue with them, is they kind of always linger around. So, that's something we have to monitor and keep an eye on. Sam Hubbard also did not participate in practice with his ankle injury. So, back-to-back days here where he is not practicing, not good at all. Especially with the fact that, we're going against a very good quarterback in C.J. Stroud. Now, obviously, the running back we'll talk about in a second. But, when it comes to straightly just a quarterback, they have a really great quarterback. So, we're going to need to pressure him, get some pressure on him. So, not having Sam Hubbard out there, it's going to be very, very challenging, right? So, we'll have to wait and see what happens Friday for Sam Hubbard. But we're going to get a game status update sometime later today. Josh also was a limited participant in practice with a shoulder injury after missing Wednesday's practice. So, he'll probably end up being a game time decision on Sunday. My guess is he doesn't play. But again, like I said, you never know how that's going to shake out. Jalen Davis was a full participant in practice after suffering his ankle injury last week. He was limited on Wednesday, but he was a full participant in practice on Thursday. So he should be A-okay and ready to play for this upcoming weekend. Akeem Davis-Gaither still dealing with that knee injury, even though he did play the last two contests. He is a limited participant in practice for the second straight day. I think he plays. I think he plays in a very limited fashion like he did last week. And actually, let me see. Do I have the, I do have the snap count. So, the snap count for Akeem Davis-Gaither last week was actually 0. So, my correction here. Last week was actually the first week he was active. He was not active he was actually inactive week 4 to 8 with his injury. So, last week was actually the first contest he played. And he played 0 snaps. So while he was active, he played 0 snaps. And again, that makes perfect sense because if he's already injured, and you don't need him in the game, there's no reason to put him out there and get him more injured, right? So that is definitely something to take into consideration moving forward that, you're probably not going to see much of him this year. And at the same time, that might be a positive thing, right? That means our defense is getting the other team off the field, which we did very good in the game versus Buffalo, and kind of keeping our guys fresh. So we don't have to do that rotation and put Akeem Davis-Gaither in there when he's already injured with his knee injury. T. Higgins did not participate in practice, as I said before, on Thursday. He will be out for this upcoming game. Chuck Sizzle, full participant in practice back-to-back days. His thumb injury, which obviously broke his thumb earlier this year on September 29th. He looks like he is fully okay, back, everything is perfect. This means not only are we going to get a punt returner back, we are also going to get another receiver back. And, the guy we spent a 4th round draft pick on. So we're going to have to kind of see if we get our return on our investment here, right? Because at the end of the day, without T in there, Yoshi's the outside guy. He's an outside receiver. That's exactly what, Yoshi is. And he would be replacing T straight up. Now, of course, we have the slot receiver, Tyler Boyd S, Trenton Irwin S, Chuck Sizzle back. He's going to get more playtime in this offense because of the fact that T is out. So we're going to have to see him really step up, and we're going to need a lot of these guys to step up for this game versus the Texans. Last and final one is full participant in practice for Cam Taylor-Britt. Based on what I understand, everything is positive with him. He's going to play, no problem at all. He did have his quad injury, but he is, of course, full participant practice on both of these. Now, if you guys did not see, he actually got hurt last week in the Bills game. I think Dalton Kincaid, I believe, he hit him after the, or no, not hit him after the play. He went to tackle him, and he got hurt on the play. So, we have our injury list, and now we got to go through the biology class of their injury list, because I think, what was it, 23 players yesterday on an injury list? Maybe 25. Will Anderson Jr. was a limited participant in practice. Obviously, that's their first round draft pick rookie with the knee injury. Andrew Beck did not participate in practice twice, and shout out to the person, I forget their name, who commented down below and told me he actually had an 87-yard kick return because the ball bounced off somebody, which is cool. Blake Cashman was a limited participant in practice on Thursday. Their kicker did not participate in practice on both days. Again, based on what I've heard, they're going to either sign someone or they already signed somebody. So that's not really that big of a deal. Jake Henson, hamstrings, that's hand injury, did not participate in practice on both days. Blake Jordan, also no practice on Thursday. Steven Nelson, no practice on Thursday. Damian Pierce, this is actually a huge one here. So this is their starting running back, obviously their young star here, and he is not, he's not participating in practice yet again. Keep in mind that Damian Pierce, without him in that lineup last week versus the Bucs, they could not run the ball. Like, they could not run the ball without Damian Pierce. Now, their backup running back did kick an extra point, so I guess that's like a plus. Maybe if they don't get another kicker, they can go with their running back as the kicker. But other than that, though, Damian Pierce being out would be an absolutely huge loss for them, especially against our defense that is one of the best in the NFL after getting after the quarterback, getting in the backfield, shutting down the run. We are one of the best run defenses in the NFL. So if that's the case, then this is going to really make them one-dimensional, and they're going to have to throw the ball more. Now, obviously, listen, at the end of the day, they could easily do that, right? So they are a really great team, and I don't want to underplay them in any way possible. Laremy Tunsil, limited participant in practice, the left tackle. I think he will end up playing this weekend, but we'll have to wait and see. He does have a knee injury. Jimmy Ward, another did not participate in practice. That is a starting safety, and again, did not practice with his hamstring injury. Robert Woods, as I said, guys, this is biology class of every single person name in existence. Yeah, their injury report is insane. Did not participate in practice, Nico Collins. So Robert Woods is a starting wide receiver. He was limited, and their second receiver is Nico Collins, who did not participate in practice. The third receiver, obviously, is Tank. And Tank, obviously, is not on the injury report. I know it's surprising, right? Out of all the players on their team, which is half the roster here, this is actually almost half the roster is on the injury report. Because 27, 54, half the roster is on this injury report. That is insane. Henry Tutu did practice on limited fashion yesterday, on Wednesday, but did not practice yesterday. So that's definitely some of the consideration. He has a concussion too. So, if he's not feeling up to it 100%, the NFL is not going to let him play there. Jonathan Greenyard had a hand injury to defensive end. He was limited both days. He should play. Offensive tackle, George Fant, that's a starting right tackle. Full participant in practice on Thursday, limited on Wednesday. Titus Howard, offensive tackle, knee injury, limited participant in practice on Wednesday, full participant in practice on Thursday. And then going down this list here, we have the linebacker who was limited on Thursday, Derek Stingley Jr., who's just now officially coming off IR. He's been on IR, but now he's officially expected to come back. And he was a full participant in practice on Thursday, so it looks like he is going to be playing for this upcoming game, which sucks because he's a very, very good young cornerback. When they drafted him, it was one of those guys where I'm like, this guy's going to be a superstar in the NFL. Charlie Heck was full participant in practice. Christian Harris, full participant in practice. Josh Jones, full participant in practice. John Menchie, another receiver for them, full participant in practice. And Sheldon Rankins was also a full participant in practice. So at the end of the day here, looking at this list, there's only probably going to be maybe 2 or 3 players who end up not playing this game at all. But for the most part, though, they're going to have players who are injured, right? They're going to have players who are kind of limping during this game. So it's not like we're playing them at 100% of their capacity here, but it's still going to be one of those situations where we're going to have to play our best football without T. Higgins. Going to suck, but it is what it is, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.